Hi, third grade friends. I hope you are all doing well. I hope that you're getting outside and enjoying this beautiful weather that we are having. I also hope you got to enjoy that last bit of snow on Friday. Hopefully that's the last bit. I'm ready for spring. Today we're going to look at lesson 12.6 and we're going to draw quadrilaterals. So before we do that, I just want to review really quick what is a quadrilateral. A quadrilateral is a four-sided shape with four angles. It can have different kinds of angles and it can have different side lengths. Remember the other day we classified some of our quadrilaterals into some other things here. So we can classify it as a trapezoid, a rectangle, a square, or a rhombus. Now, if you don't remember some of these terms, I want you to flip back in your books to lesson 12.5 and you can review. So a trapezoid has at least one pair of opposite sides that are parallel. Remember, parallel means they're running side by side and they never cross. Okay? A rectangle has two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, two pairs of sides that are of equal length, and four right angles. A square can be a rectangle, but a rectangle cannot be a square. Okay? A square has two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, four sides that are of equal length, and four right angles. And then a rhombus has two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel and four sides that are of equal length. A square can be a rhombus, but a rhombus cannot be a square. All right. So let's go back here to our lesson. So it says connect. You have learned to classify quadrilaterals by the number of pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, by the number of pairs of sides of equal length, and by the number of right angles. How can you draw quadrilaterals? You're going to use the grid paper to draw quadrilaterals. This says you can have use a ruler. So it says use a ruler to draw line segments from points A to B, from B to C, from C to D, and from D to A. And then write the name of your quadrilateral. So let's connect our dots here. Alright, so let's look at that shape. So obviously it's a quadrilateral. Now, some of the shapes are going to stay quadrilaterals, and some of them can be classified as a trapezoid, a rhombus, a rectangle, or a square. So let's take a look at this. I do see that there are two right angles there, but there are not four right angles. So if there's not four right angles, then I know right away that this is not a rectangle or a square. So that leaves me with a trapezoid or a rhombus. Now, a rhombus has four sides of equal length. This does not have four sides of equal length. So let's see if it can be a trapezoid. Remember, we said a trapezoid has to have at least one pair of parallel sides. So if you look here, this top one and this bottom one are going to run side by side and they're never going to touch. So those are parallel lines. So we can classify this quadrilateral as a trapezoid. So we're going to write that here. And if you aren't sure how to spell it, please look back at our lesson 12.5. Okay. Activity 2. Draw a shape that does not belong. A. Here are three examples of a quadrilateral. Draw an example of a polygon that is not a quadrilateral. So if it's not a quadrilateral, that means it does not have four sides. So you can draw a triangle, you can draw a hexagon, an octagon, a decagon, anything that it does not have four sides. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to draw a triangle. And then you just have to explain why your polygon is not a quadrilateral. So I would just say, my polygon is not a quadrilateral because it has three sides and three angles. Now remember, yours, you might have drawn something different, so you just have to explain why yours is not a quadrilateral. Let's look at the next page here. This says, here are 3 examples of a square. Draw a quadrilateral that is not a square. So squares have 4 right angles, they have 2 pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, and they have 4 sides of equal length. So I would just need to draw something that does not have 4 sides of equal length. It could have right angles, it doesn't have to. So I could draw a trapezoid, I could draw a rectangle. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to draw a rectangle. Okay, so then for my explanation, why is my quadrilateral not a square? Well, my quadrilateral is not a square because it does not have 4 sides of equal length. Okay, C. Here are 3 examples of a rectangle. Draw a quadrilateral that is not a rectangle. Well, remember, we cannot draw a square because a square can be classified as a rectangle. Okay, so it has 4 right angles, but it has 2 pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. So I could draw a trapezoid. So then for my explanation, I could say my shape is not a rectangle because it does not have 2 pairs of parallel sides. If you see, I only have 1 pair of parallel sides. It does not have 4 right angles, and it does not have 2 pairs of opposite sides that are equal. So you just have to explain why it's not that, okay? And then you would do the same thing for D. So let's go ahead and jump to our homework. So number 1 says, always have 4 sides of equal length. So a square and a rhombus always have 4 sides of equal length. Number 2, only 1 pair of opposite sides that are parallel. Well, we said that's a trapezoid, so you're going to draw a trapezoid. Number 3, draw a quadrilateral that does not belong and explain why. So you need to look carefully at each of these, and then you need to decide what would you draw that's 4-sided shape but is not the same as these. Okay? Number 4 you can do, and then number 5 you can do. It says draw a quadrilateral that is not a rectangle. So that means it can't be a rectangle and it cannot be a square. Describe your shape and explain why it is not a rectangle. So you're just going to describe why it is not a rectangle. So think about what makes a rectangle and then why the shape you drew would not be a rectangle. Okay? If you have any questions, please let us know. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.